Hi, and welcome to Android Coliseum Hangout 148. It's February 3rd, 2016, not 15, as it says on our agenda. So we have lots of people here with us tonight.
Whoops.
We can start with the closest person to me, Rob. How are things in the PEG?
Doing good.
Have you guys had a cold winter yet?
It's
A
winter
couple
pig.
days. No, it's actually been pretty weird. We had about a week worth that was really cold. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it's
we
been
haven't had
pretty
much.
pretty mild for us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then next up, Ryan.
Yeah, no, same as Rob. We have actually, just a couple of days that it got really cold, and a few days there's really weird snow, and then the other day was just really slushy. So
Yeah, been kind of odd.
I could be happy if this means that winter was almost over now.
Yeah.
Yes, but you know that it's not almost over.
Well,
You
it depends
know.
on which groundhog you want to go by. Okay. I think Puxatawny Phil said there was going to be, it was going to be coming around soon.
I'm going with the dead one. How about
Wyerton Willie, is it? Was it?
whoever died? How's it going, Martin?
Not bad, not bad.
And Savan?
It's good, but we have no snow, lots of rain, freezing rain, mess outside. We can't ski, we can't snowshoe, there's no snow.
We're
Hmm.
pretty much just well right now.
So I hope we get a little bit of winter soon, just so it's a bit more fun. It's kind of ugly and boring outside.
You can shovel my driveway if you want.
That's okay. You can keep it.
Well, we get snow every once in a while. We've had actually quite a bit of sunny weather, which is nice, but it's not cold at all. It's just, yeah, the thing I don't like about this is I know spring is a long time away, so it's somewhat depressing to have this warm-ish weather because it's not meaning winter's over. It means that spring is
It's
longer.
coming.
It's settling you in just before it gets really worse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's talk Android. I haven't been here for a couple weeks. I was in Vancouver, and then last week everybody else was busy. So it'll be nice to chat again. First up is G4, the G4 did get the Marshmallow update rolled out, and Rob is going to talk about that.
Yep. The G4 was Monday and Tuesday. Rogers and Bell pushed out the OTA for the LG G4, and it looks like we're getting it here in Canada before our American neighbors, which is kind of neat. Unless we're just the guinea pigs. I already have it on my G4, and it's pretty stellar. I did a test of the good old doze that everyone's playing with, and I put it to, I think it was about 52% when I went to bed, and when I got up 8 hours later or so, it was 49%. So that's not something that my G4 could do before. So, and I had written up an article as well, of course, as you guys may have seen, and there's a whole whackload of things that were changed. So I can say it all here, but it'll take a lot of time. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty good.
So which feature did you like the most that you got?
Well, Doze is definitely up there, just because it, if I got the phone in my pocket and everything like that, which I do more often now with having the smartwatch, then I expect that the phone will just last longer throughout the day entirely. That's actually pretty much the number one feature right there. The other stuff is kind of just neat. Just neat little mini features here. I like the Do Not Disturb. That's back. So now I can just kind of do a one-touch sort of thing, and it's a little more obvious with my phone's actually going to make any kind of noise or not, instead of worrying about the previous way that Lollipop did it. So those are pretty much my top ones right now. I'm still exploring.
Ah, okay, anybody else got comments about that?
I like Now on Tap. I miss being able to swipe up, like to use a swipe up to do Google Now. Because now if I want to go to Google Now, I have to hold the home and then hit the G. But I love Now on Tap. I'm using it just about everything I can pull up now.
So
Just to
what's
see.
the difference between Now and Now on Tap?
So the idea being with Now on Tap is that you. So if I got a text message from somebody saying, hey, my address is this, or you hold down the home button, and it takes a picture, and you can use it as you can then save that as a screen capture, but then it sort of analyzes, okay, what is on that screen that might be of relevant use?
Oh.
Oh, that's a movie, Deadpool the movie. Oh, okay, well that's going to be here's the show times for Deadpool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it'll give you all that Google Now information just by sort of recognizing what's on the screen.
So kind of like Google Goggles.
Yes, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Essentially.
Remember that?
For
Yeah.
screenshots.
I like Google Goggles.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that just pulled it all together for me because I was kind of wondering what the task was. Now I hope that's somebody's cat.
Yeah, sorry. She's snuck in here.
She wants attention.
Okay. So
Okay, I'll be right back. I have to get rid of her.
let's move on to DroidCom.
DroidCon.
Ryan, you had some news for that.
Yeah, so DroidCon unfortunately was scheduled for the May long weekend in May, and I was looking forward to it. I hadn't gotten official approval on my time off for it yet to go, but what happened is that Google announced Google I/O 2016 for pretty much the same days.
Oh.
And when your audience is Google Android developers, and they have a choice of going to Montreal or they have a choice of going to Google, they're going to go to Google. So unfortunately, Google Montreal, DroidCon Montreal, has decided to. They say cancel because they haven't officially picked a new date yet. Because picking new dates and all that kind of stuff is going to take a long time to do. So they just said right now it's canceled, but they're still looking to see what dates they can put it in, what would work out. So keep your eyes and ears open for potential news around what would happen there.
Well, it's interesting that they would even choose a date that could possibly conflict with I/O.
Not that they chose a date. It was the date was chosen back last year.
Yeah, it was picked a while ago, and Google I/O is never really a specific set weekend and whatever time.
Oh, I see.
And so like it was picked way before, and then Google said, oh, this is the day we're going for it. And who's going
It
to
just
fight
ended up
with Google?
conflicting with the actual event that was pre-booked.
Yeah, who's gonna fight with Google on that? So.
Exactly.
Well, now that Alphabet is the most profitable tech company in the world, I would say, or no, biggest, something, but not most profitable. Anyways, that's too bad. And you have another cancellation, Ryan, to talk about.
I'm having a problem bringing up my agenda. Oh,
Here.
copy?
MyTrack.
My track.
MyTrack, sorry. I'm sad about it seems like a bunch of things are just closing or merging or whatever. So MyTracks, this was probably an older product, but the idea being was that you could say, you know what, as a program, I'm going to start doing something. I'm going to go for a hike. I'm going to go for a jog. I'm going to go for a bike ride. Start recording my GPS position, and it would start recording wherever you are, and going through all that, and it would measure your elevation and your speeds. So you could go back and look at it and say, well, what do they do? Kind of like an Endomondo without all the health tracking, whatever, right? So very cool, but it's just a matter of they just didn't. People have been using other things. Plus, Google actually already uses a tracking system, so you can go into your Google dashboard and see your location history if you have it turned on. What was really nice is that you could say between this time and this time track. So it doesn't really have that fine, precise detail anymore if you go into the dashboard. So they're closing it up. But oh well.
So you have a comment, Siobhan?
Yeah, it's just weird to me that that Google didn't invest a bit more in MyTracks, because when I got my first Android phone many years ago, that was the only option. There were no other apps. I think Noom was out there, but there were barely any, and I did use it, and it would export all the data to a sheet and to I don't remember if it was Google Drive or whatever they called it at the time, Google Sheets or so it was pretty cool. And if they would somehow find a way to incorporate Google Fit and My Tracks together, they could have had an amazing app, and no one would need any other app. But they chose not to invest in that. And it's a bit weird because now they do try to make Google Fit a bit better and to do more things. So it's just something they overlooked, and maybe in the future Google Fit will take the technology from My Tracks and incorporate that. I don't know.
I have to admit, I was kind of expecting that since they were closing it, that it would be because they had rolled it into Google Fit somehow, because that's something that would make it a competitor with Edmondo and things like that.
Right, and a complete fitness app.
Yeah. Well, maybe later.
We'll see. Google. They close, they open.
Yeah.
Apps all the time, right?
Yep, unfortunately.
Okay, well, something else is closing, and Martin is going to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, notice this week, way ahead of Ryan on that one, Copy announced that they were officially closing on May 1st, and apparently citing that it's not a viable business model.
I'm not surprised.
There's been a couple that have, I remember CX Cloud went down, Copy went down. There was another one that went down recently too, wasn't there?
There's been quite a few, actually.
Yeah, there's been a lot of these cloud-based services that have shut down. What was that? There was that unlimited one I had a subscription to, and it closed down. Docs. There's a bunch of them. It's just you can't really compete with the big guys right now. Google Drive offering unlimited backup storage.
Yeah, that's why I stick to Google. I know that my data's there, and it will take a lot to close.
Google Dropbox, Box, and OneDrive is pretty much the biggest out there right now that are still being actively used.
Well, even OneDrive is going to be limiting itself to a 15 gigabyte, and I think, and if you go with the Office 365, 300 gigabyte or something.
Yep.
So even there, you've gone away from these unlimited, super massive storage sizes. So, again.
But it's also based on the fact they've analyzed these million people, and millions of people not using more than about approximately 15 gigabyte in a span of many years. So that's why all these packages are being reduced. So yeah, you're going to have a couple of people that are going to be screaming all high and mighty that they don't have their unlimited or their terabytes anymore, but that's not most of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And the mobile hard drives and stuff like that, and solid state drives are really coming down in price. Like you can get a mobile terabyte drive for probably the cost of
a year's subscription.
Drive. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, but I've never subscribed for a year, and then it's yours. And it's secure because you can download and take it off the internet. So, for people that want security and have a lot of things that they want to save, they have options.
It's an option among many others.
That's right. So, and then we're the HTC One M10.
Yeah, we've got HTC One M10. I mean, what they're trying to do with this one is make an impressive device with a very impressive screen and a very much better camera than what you currently have on the market. And this is what we're supposed to be seeing on the M10. But again, take this with a grain of salt. It's still kind of a rumor.
And Ryan, do you want to comment on the rumor?
Yeah, I got to take a look at it. I was just going to look up when the M8 came out. I want to say the M8 came out around March or April.
About that.
I think it was Mobile World Congress is usually when they're announcing it, because I think they came up with that app. But so we got some time before it becomes, so obviously this is where the rumor mill starts. But really HTC needs to pull out a big one on this one. They really need to the A9 that they released that I reviewed recently was a nice departure from it. And I've always really liked HTC stuff. They really they take the time to make a quality product. The problem is they just have zero marketing to push it out there and put it in people's hands, right? And it's one of those best unsung heroes of the devices out there. Personally, I prefer my LG, but it's got a lot of great features. The Ultra, they do a lot of work on the technology to make sure it's right, what it's supposed to be, but just zero marketing. Or when they did marketing, really shitty marketing with Robert Downey Jr. and those weird commercials. if you remember them. And anyways, so yeah, I think they need a really good quality product. That's obvious because they're they can't hurt that much longer. But I mean, the biggest thing I think they need to do is actually advertise this thing,
I agree.
build some hype.
I don't know how many times I've heard people say, "Oh, I really like HTC," and yet that's not what they end up buying in a lot of cases. So I don't know how they turn that around. They could look at what LG did, because LG sort of was really good for a while, and then they sort of dropped out, and now they've come again. They've really come back strong. So whatever LG did, HTC should certainly take a page out of that notebook. Well, and then, Devon, you have a tester. You have
Yes.
something. Yes.
I'm reviewing the Oppo F1. I just got it a few days ago, so I'm still getting used to it. I'm using it as my phone just to test everything. It's available now for pre-order, so it's not available yet, but it's shipping. I think it started shipping at the beginning of this month or very soon. I wrote an article, and there's a link there for the pre-order. It's only $249, and if you pre-order, you get a free selfie stick, and I know how much you want this selfie stick. And it's a lot of fun for $250. I'm really, really impressed. The build is very premium. It's made of metal, and I mean the specs are mid-end, not high-end. It has Snapdragon 616 octa-core. It has a 16 gig internal memory, but expandable with an SD card. 3 gig of RAM. So it's not high-end, but the camera that they use is a high-end camera. It has a 13 megapixel back camera with all the Oppo app, with all the features. And in the front, they have an 8 megapixel camera. So they call this phone the selfie expert. So I find it really interesting that you can buy a phone that's pretty cheap. I think that $250 is pretty cheap, and still get an amazing camera, and the phone works well. I mean, the screen is only 720p. It's full HD, no, it's HD, right? 720p is HD, and 1080p is full HD or whatever. Anyways, it's HD, but it looks great because it's a tiny phone. For me, it's tiny. I mean, it's 5-inch. For me, it looks tiny, and for me, the screen looks, almost the same as the R7 Plus, which is 1080p. So, and it works great. I mean, it's quick. Everything responds really fast. It has Lollipop, and I mean, it's perfect if you want to get a phone for, let's say, a teenager. You don't want to spend too much money, but they still want to take their amazing Instagram photos or whatever. I think it's a great deal, and highly recommend it. But I'm still using it, and I'll write a full review.
So what's the battery life? Battery size?
The battery size is let me check. 2000 something, but I don't remember.
Well, with a small phone, with a smaller screen,
it's actually a bit bigger. The battery is a bit bigger than the R7. Let's see, battery. It's 2500 mAh. But today, I mean, I used it. I played Ingress on the way to work. I used it as usual. I go on my phone during the day, and in the afternoon, it was still 75%. So I was impressed because, I mean, my other phone has a much bigger battery, and it lasts almost the same. So I think that the small screen and makes a difference. And the batteries, now I'm at 46%. I boosted it a bit in the car but that's it, you know. So it really, with a little boost, it lasts all day. And the things that it is missing is it doesn't have the fast charger, the Oppo VOOC fast charger. But when I charge it, it seems pretty fast anyways. I mean, not super fast, but not slow. And what else it doesn't have? It doesn't have the fingerprint reader. I missed that. But it has very good sound. They have some special sound system, and the sound really great. So again, perfect for teenagers that like music, like taking photos. So a longer review is coming.
Excellent. And in that review, you'll put the Canadian price down, or do they only ever list in U.S. price? And
It's on oppostyle.com. They have the international section. It's not the North America section, and it has only the U.S. price. So I'm not sure, you know, with the Canadian dollar being so weak. Yeah, obviously it's a bit more, a lot more, but still a good price.
Okay, well, moving on. We'll move on to another phone, another price drop. Rob, you have this one.
Is that the Nexus one?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah. Oh, now I lost my spot on my phone here. Yes, the Nexus 6P and the Nexus 5X, both of them got dropped in price down $50 each. For the 6P, it's only the matte gold version. I don't know why, it's just that one. And the 5X, I guess it's for all of them. So yeah, the matte gold is down to $649 Canadian, and the 5X is down to $389. So if any Canadians are up for one of those Nexus devices, those are both pretty decent prices compared to other flagships. So
5X at 389, it's actually pretty attractive.
yeah,
Yeah,
389 is pretty good. You know, under $400 Canadian. That's pretty nice, and that's from what I saw on the Google store. That's free delivery as well for each one.
Jesus.
So
Nice.
that's good.
you'll just add a little bit of tax for whatever province you're in, I guess, and then you're laughing.
That's actually pretty decent.
Tax.
Good time to buy.
Yep.
Yep. Pick one of those days when our dollar is high.
Yep, definitely.
One of those, or maybe I mean one of those hours that the dollar is
Yeah,
high.
I was gonna say, when is this happening?
Yeah.
'Cause I think we went up. I think we went up one day, and then it went. Oh, oil prices went down. So
Yo-yo.
If we're lucky.
yeah, it's a tough time to buy stuff. Okay, Uber. Martin, you're an Uber fan.
So yeah, Uber. I mean, this is a first in Canadian history for this company. Legalized in Edmonton, so Uber is basically legal. So it's not illegal anymore. And what that signifies for Edmonton, I mean, probably it's going to be driving a price war with the current taxi system. I mean, we're going to be definitely Uber is aiming for lower prices on everything. What does that entail for a lot of the people is, you know what? If they want to have Uber, sure, go ahead. You're going to have safer drivers, safer cars. Probably the same thing for the taxi, because now they're actually going to be active competition between both. One's a corporation run privately, and the other one's an actual city service, where the taxi service you have in the city. So maybe we're going to be seeing a price war at some point where actually prices are going to be driven down, and hopefully not up.
That's always an interesting thing about prices, because I remember when I was in Vancouver a few years ago, and a really inexpensive gas company, like car gas chain opened, and they were way cheaper than everybody else, like way cheaper, and they had good sites and everything, and they ended up going belly up because people just would not go to them. So it'll be interesting to see if what that means, what Uber means for taxis in Edmonton.
I mean, even if it's not Edmonton here in Ottawa, I get a difference by half of what a taxi will cost. I mean, here to the airport will be about $50, and it probably cost me 20. Ooh. Big difference.
Well, we shall continue to watch that.
Definitely.
And Microsoft continues buying all the things and moving hard into Android.
An interesting acquisition for Microsoft. They snagged up SwiftKey for $250 million, and a lot of speculation around as to the reason behind it. But from what I've been reading personally from all various sources, is the intelligence behind the predictiveness of SwiftKey, whether you're swiping, typing, or using prediction above the keyboard, and this apparently seems to be the technology that Microsoft is after to integrate within their own other applications. So this should be interesting. I mean, they're not planning, from what I can see, on changing the application. They're actually trying to leverage the application for everything else that they have.
Well, I'm interested to see what that means for Samsung, because I know the Samsung keyboard runs on the SwiftKey engine, and I think there's some other OEM keyboards that also run on the SwiftKey engine.
BlackBerry does.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if now they will be paying more licensing fee.
Probably some patent fees, obviously, or some royalty of some sort.
Yeah. So, yeah, another revenue stream for Microsoft.
So I have a question in terms about this, and the question is, how many of you guys are using SwiftKey as your keyboard? Like that's my daily. That's what I use all the time. I keep trying other keyboards, and I keep going back to SwiftKey no matter what.
I keep doing the exact same thing.
I keep trying it, and then I flip back to swipe.
Yeah.
And
so
on my tablet, I'm using the Samsung keyboard.
So I know, Martin. I know you and I. We both were talking about this the other day. Like, we're okay with Microsoft buying SwiftKey. We wouldn't stop using it. Unlike the rumor that if Apple bought Netflix, I would stop using Netflix. Rumor, right? So Microsoft buying SwiftKey, what would be the point where you would stop using it? Was there something that they would do to it that you would stop? Is it bringing Cortana into SwiftKey, or tying SwiftKey's neural network into Cortana's learning database, or there's gonna be for me there has to be some twitch.
The moment Cortana is involved, I'm out.
Really? Because
Cortana, for a personal experience, and this is just a personal experience, is shit.
Tell us what you really think, though.
Yeah, I just did.
So I just wonder about that because I use Swipe, and Swipe uses the Dragon speech engine, and I
Very
find
good
it's just
engine.
fine.
Nuance.
Very good engine.
See, that's why I don't like Swipe, is because I prefer to just kind of keep it within Google as a preference for just the voice. That's what I was used to. So when I tried that, I didn't like. Well, it's a preference, yeah.
Yeah, like because I've used Samsung phones like since 2010, because I started with Windows Mobile and transitioned through that, and the user experience has always been the same, and they've used Swipe. So, it really is what you get used to.
Oh yeah.
But I think charging me $50 for the keyboard is what would do it in for me.
I don't see that.
I don't care about Cortana.
Oh no.
I just wouldn't use the voice part. So, let's see. We have another phone. Is this a rumor, Ryan, or is it an actual?
It's actual a fluke from the company, and they posted it.
Yeah, the Idol One-Touch Idol 4S. Now, if you remember, we were reviewing the Idol 3 in the last summer. I think, bar none, hands down, best price for a medium-sized phone out there. It was just under $400. It was a great device. So they're looking to this as a newer version. This would be the Idol 4, an Idol 4S, and so they actually got posted on the website somehow early. Some interns gotten fired probably, but yeah. So, anyways, that's potentially But again, who knows? Maybe this was just a quick mock-up. It could be a rumor, just like we keep hearing about the rumors, like the LG G5, right, Rob?
Yep. Well, the LG G5. Was that my segue?
That's your segue.
Yeah, it was confirmed just earlier today, or almost like 5 hours ago now. The G5 is going to be released
it's
revealed.
confirmed.
Sorry, it's going to be revealed on the 21st of February.
Okay.
Holy
At,
crap!
Mobile World Congress.
Early,
Isn't that
earlier,
the same?
and earlier.
Isn't
Yeah,
that the same day that Samsung's doing their S7?
possibly.
That's right. There's
I
that.
had read a while ago that Samsung was doing their S7 event. Well,
I can see that.
unboxing, and then somebody said right away that LG was doing one that day as well. So
Sneaky, sneaky. The G5 looks neat. Like, I mean, that stuff is all rumors. Like, I've seen some render about like the whole bottom of the phone coming off, and then the battery would be within or something. Like a
Yeah, it was supposed
I
to be
thought those as well, yeah.
modular-ish, right?
yeah,
Which
because
would be cool.
I think LG wants to keep the they want to keep the removable battery from what I've seen and read. Like they've poked and jabbed at Samsung a couple times talking about, oh yeah, you got quick charging, that's cool. You know what's faster than quick charging? Changing the battery. I'm like,
well, you know, it's easier than changing the battery, having a wireless charger.
maybe it's not
Because
fast
you
though.
just prop your phone up and you charge
Well, maybe I
it.
shouldn't have said easier. Maybe I should have said faster. I think their actual ad was faster. So
It's faster. It was,
yeah. You're right. I gotta make sure I'm careful with my words.
Wireless
But
is
it's
Easier
also,
probably, yeah, but
Anyways,
Yeah,
everybody has
maybe
preferences.
slick.
There's a whole bunch of new stuff coming out. Should be cool.
Mobile World Congress coming up. That's gonna be interesting.
Yes.
Yep.
it should be fun.
And we have some reviews. Ryan, do you want to talk about reviews? Coming up?
Unfortunately, my screen isn't coming. I believe in terms of reviews, we had just reviewed like the HTC One M or One A9 as of device I'd reviewed. I reviewed that Sony or Motorola's 360 Sport. That is a fantabulous watch. I need it back. I just reviewed today Magster, an app called Magster, so the Netflix for magazines, which is pretty cool. And I think that's the ones we've done recently. I would like to do an article in a little while, but sort of, a hands-on. Here's how the new features in the G4 or Marshmallow work. But coming up, we have some articles. I have the ZTE Axon Pro in the house. I am giving this Snapdragon 8. Is it A10? Yeah, A10. A bit of a run for its money to see if I can get it to overheat and warm up or whatever. That should be out this weekend. We have the Monterre QI chart you just reviewed right now. Cass, you were finishing your article on it. And Kat and Sivan will have her Oppo F1 review after she gives it a full run-through. So there's a few things. And again, if there's anything you want us to review or if people are thinking that they are of interest, let us know. Maybe we can get a hands-on one and give a review for you.
For sure. Well, it looks like our time together has come to an end. Anybody got closing comments? Nobody has closing comments?
Nope.
No closing comments.
Cricket sounds.
It's been a long week already. I don't know about you guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm teaching first aid, which would be okay if there wasn't always some other fires to put out while
I
I'm
can understand that.
teaching first aid.
Fun.
Yes, and Ryan, you've had an exciting changes at work. Seems like you're busy.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that. But at least now I'm done the French lesson classes for another month or so. So that one more night out of the week that I don't have to do something. So we're good.
Oh, that's good to hear. Anybody
Good
else
stuff.
got news? News and views?
No,
Okay.
no news.
Well, everybody say good night.
Right,
And
take
we'll
care,
wrap
guys.
it
Have a
Thank
good
you
night.
very
See
much.
you next week.
Thanks for joining us. See you later.
So everybody.